Choice early on. Hopefully today proved the point that we made the right choice. Finally a column 1 team. But I think it makes a difference to have guys with experience. And in high pressure races, when the qualification was needed, Jarno and Heikki came out.
Wait, but before we go any further, Eddie, just really want to explain column 1 precisely, because people at home get very confused about the money and the finances. It's worth a phenomenal amount of money, so just go through that for us first, and then Eddie can...
Well, basically we had to finish 10th 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It just moves you into a different prize money allocation.
What kind of money?
Well, it's in the over the 30 million mark in terms
Compared
of
to...
dollars, compared to virtually nothing.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Big day for me, can't get the grin off my face.
So $30 million faster next year then, Mike?
When it was sort of when it was looking as it might rain on the grid, there was quite a bit of pressure, because the anomaly is when you haven't scored any points is, of course, that it's only on one race, one position. So if there'd have been a lot of people falling off and someone had got a 12th position, that would have cost us sort of something like $30 million. So I did remind all the boys on the grid when just before the race, so there was a bit of pressure on.
I bet.
Is any of this $30 million going to buy a new centre forward at QPR?
No, I don't think so.
They need one after Norwich's performance yesterday. So.
Yeah, look,
Do you two still talk to each other?
Wasn't it wonderful?
In case the people don't
I actually
understand, these are
apologise when we
Norwich fans,
scored.
and this
I
is
know, look,
QPR.
you got to give the home team a little bit of a head start once in a while.
That
Yeah.
used to be the way.
Yeah, no, we're nice guys down here.
Good, we'll take that all season.
How are you guys going to close the gap then to the midfield and the top 10?
Well, if you look at this qualification, we weren't far away from many of the midfield, and we didn't have Kurz. If we had Kurz, we would have taken Williams, and we would have been very close to Toro Rosso. Next year will be the first year we have a car with stability. What does that mean? Same engine, same gearbox, and we started developing it at the right time. So, it's wind tunnel time. We've got a much better quality of people. Today was a good race for us in that we brought a new wing. Here we are in the last race, still adding parts, and this wing came from the CFD department and added 0.5 of a second. So I really feel next year we should really make that step.
De Montezemolo gave Ferrari team, the boss of Ferrari, 5 out of 10 for their performance this year. What do you give your team?
So I'd give us about 8 out of 10.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put the same question to you, Mike, because the car is your baby, you've designed it, and I know you feel the pressure is on your shoulders next year to take another step forwards with this team. Mark, out of 10 for this year?
Probably 7, 6 or 7. I think we wanted to start where we finished this year, sort of beating the odd member of the existing teams. I mean, we've built a Williams or a Renault every race since Singapore. That was kind of where we were meant to start, and we were meant to finish a little bit further up. But I think just in resources, the blown diffuser, people found a lot of time in that, and we were caught out by that. But I still think we've done a good job as a team. We've really improved, and strategically we've improved. We've made all the right calls. We started behaving like a proper team as opposed to a new team, and I think that's the big difference.
I think, where do we... I'm probably the most realistic person here in the paddock, and it's not easy for someone to come in with nothing and build a team from scratch. So, we're really happy. My target was 10th.
Yeah.
That was where it was. And to build a solid foundation to go forward. It's not easy. There's teams here that have been here 40, 50 years with deep resources, with their own wind tunnel. So 10th was exactly where I wanted to be. And I think next year, if we're not moving up, then we haven't really performed.
Okay, well, as you can see, Heikki Kovalainen has kindly come out and joined us. And the great thing is he comes to this cold not knowing the scores that you gave. So, Heikki, how many out of 10 for Team Lotus this year?
I think you've got to give them the maximum score.
Oh, it's
I have to
He
say,
wants,
because
he wants some of that $30 million, doesn't he?
I think he's been under tarps already. What do you think?
no, but honestly, I think they've done a great effort, and it's a great achievement in 2 years, to come this far. And the gap's been closing to the cars ahead of us. That's the main thing, and I think we look like a pro team. We function like a pro team. But next year there's no young or a new team anymore. We are an established team, and next year we got to take the step forward. But I think we can do it. I think we are ready for it, and I'm certainly ready for that, to make the next step.
Well, you're an established driver. You've worked with McLaren, you've come to Lotus. You seem to have grown in confidence during your time here. So what would you give yourself out of 10? Are you going to be the typical racing driver and say 12 out of 10? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to give myself a high number, but But
I mean, I think yesterday's qualification, if I can speak for him, was his best qualification for the last 2 years. And that shows you. And every time, if here is a rookie, you know, the question was asked 3 laps or 1 lap. Jarno was ahead of him, and he said 1 lap, and he went out there and he nailed it. And I think that's the mark of a confident pro.
But that's what the teams are expecting the drivers to do. And I think, you know, like you said, I certainly lost a bit of confidence in my previous years, and you know, I could feel that it's not functioning very well, and you know, I had to go back to starting point, and whatever I was doing wasn't working. So I changed a lot of things and went back to starting point, and now it's working really well. And I think now, you know, I'm really comfortable in the paddock and in all kind of environment. I think I'll function very well, and,
I think
the
for
driving
us,
is much more where it should be now.
I think for us in the cockpit, I'd really agree with Heikki. When he came here, you'd lost some confidence. And if Jarno was quick over a weekend, he'd talk himself out of it, and he'd lose time. And this year we've seen him actually go out in qualifying and go above what we'd expect him to do. And he's clearly learned to just say, OK, put that in the back of my mind that he's quick, get the most out of it I can, and then suddenly thinks, I've done it, and I've actually beaten him in qualifying. And it's been really, and I think the second half of this year, I'd give Heikki 10 out of 10, absolutely.
This is a really horrible curveball, but I think it's probably Timo Glock and not you, Timo Glock and not you. But if a top team offered you a seat, are you free to go, or are you nailed to Lotus?
No, I'm nailed with Lotus, and for next year for me it's Caterham, and I think we can make a step forward. Like I said before, I think we have a car that is going to be quicker, and the team that is stronger. We're still growing. We are extending our facilities, so we have all the ingredients to go step forward. And like I said, you know, I'm ready to do that step, so I will be Caterham next year.
OK, well, you're a Column 1 Formula 1 team. Let's hope you're not a Column 2 football team next year.
The one downside of meeting Jake Humphrey.
This
after
weekend,
Norwich
all
won.
weekend.
Believe me, there are others.
I know.
That's very true. Another Norwich fan alongside him.
He's taking a job at HRT next, actually.
Oh, really? Oh.
Breaking
No
news.
comments. Yeah. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations
Thanks
this
for all
year.
the support over the last 2 years.
No problem at all,
Congrats.
and well done with what you've done this year, and we'll grab those back off you. Thanks very much. And we're going to head back this way, actually, down towards Sauber and discuss